We'll go on to a new topic called cursors. Cursors are actually a very interesting topic. Now, in cursors, you have a concept called a memory area, or it is even called by the name called context area. Okay, in your SQL Plus, you have a concept called the area for the memory, or the area where you write in your code. These cursors, they are pointers to the context area. Pointers to the context area, you call them by the name of a cursor. Now, or in other terms, we can say in PLSQL, the control of the context area or the control of the memory area is via the cursor. Control of the context area. Context area is nothing but the memory, is via a cursor. Now, these cursors, they can have, or your memory, they can have one or more rows. You can have n number of rows. You can have one row, two row, n number of rows. You can have any number of rows in your context area, and your cursor, it will keep track of this memory area row by row. Now, when you talk about cursors, you have two kind of cursors. You call them implicit cursors and explicit cursors. Implicit cursors and explicit cursors. Implicit cursors, they are automatically created. Very simple. All what we did till now, they are implicit cursors. Okay, the normal ones, the normal querying which we do, all that happens through implicit cursors. Now, explicit cursors, they, very simple, they are not automatically created. Not automatically created. User or the programmer has to create them. They have to create them. So all what we did till now, your normal delete, deleting, insert, deleting into, inserting into, updating, all those you normally write a PLSQL, they are automatically done. So all that comes under the category of implicit cursors. Now explicit, they are not automatically created, and a user has to create them with a name. With a name. And because it has a name, it should be declared. It should be declared in the declare section. If you go back earlier into the, look here, you remember, no? Declaration will have variables and cursors. These are actually explicit cursors. Implicit cursors, you need not declare them because they are automatically created. So let's come back over here. Okay. Explicit, they are not automatically created. A user has to create them with a name. You should give a name to the cursor, and it should be declared in the cursor section. And of course, your explicit has more control over the context area. Okay, so these are the differences between implicit cursor and as I told you, we've already done with implicit cursors. All that we did till now, they are implicit cursors, but we'll learn in more detail about them. Now, you have a few attributes. You call them attributes. You have a few attributes in implicit cursors. We're talking about implicit cursors now. They're called percentage found, percentage not found, percentage row count. These are the most important, though there are more. These are the most important. Percentage found, percentage not found, and then percentage row count. percentage found is, it is a Boolean. If true, if a row is affected, we'll see that with the help of a program. You say it is true if a row is affected. Okay, this you say if no rows are affected. If no rows are affected. Okay, and this is very simple. The number of rows. The number of rows affected. Okay, so we'll see all this with the help of a very simple question. Have a question, do an update query. Okay, I'll take back an old program which we have. Do an update query and find how many rows are affected. Do an update query and find out how many rows are affected. Okay. Update student details, set marks is equal to marks plus 5, where gender is equal to male, which means, for all the males, increase 5 marks. Okay. You go on increasing, things will go more than 100. So, I'll just do a minus 15. Okay. So for all the males, decrease their marks by 15, a new update. And I want to find out how many rows were affected. There might have been no males, there might have been many males, all these things are, there are chances, but I don't know anything. Okay, so first thing I'm going to find out whether was there anybody who was affected. Was there anybody means any row. Was there any row which had an update? Because all rows will not have an update, only male rows will have an update. So I write if SQL. So all these attributes, you will precede it with SQL. Okay, so I'll go into my query. If SQL percentage not found, means no rows are affected. No rows are affected, then something else. If some rows are affected, means SQL percentage found. Then something else. I'll just give an output over here. How do you hope you remember that? DBM is underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay, I'll just give a simple output over here. Let's say nothing affected. No rows affected. Not found means no rows are affected. Then tell nothing affected. Otherwise, tell something affected. Something affected if else if end if. Okay, it is not else if, it is ELSIF. Okay. So I'll just check my query, begin update. Yeah, if SQL percentage not found, then DBMS output line, nothing affected, else if. Okay, I'll save it in the same program, file, save. I'll run my program. Okay, before that, set server output. Set server output on, because I have DBMS output line. I'll run my program. What was the program name? Update demo 1. Update demo 1. Okay, some things affected. Okay, I have an error over here, spelling mistake, that is why. They're telling something is affected. They are telling something is affected. I'll just change my query where gender is equal to TG. Where gender is equal to TG, which means, for all the TGs, do a mark change. Save my program. Come here. I'll run it. Nothing affected. Why is nothing affected? Very simple. I don't have a TG over here. But males, they told something affected. Something, there is a change. Some no rows, there is a change. Okay. So just make it back male. And now I want to find out how many rows had a change. How many rows had a change? To find the number of rows, what do you have? percentage row count. Okay, so I'll then dbm is okay, something affected, and now here I want to have how many rows affected. Okay, so before that I'll need to find out how many rows are affected. Okay, so I'll write, okay, I'll have a declaration, let's say rows is equal, rows number, let's say I have a declaration rows, and here I find out the number of rows. Rows is equal to what? Just copy it from here. How do you write it? Percentage row count. So I write row is equal to percentage row count. As I told you earlier, all these attributes, you should be preceding it with an SQL. So I found out the rows. So I'll just write over here, number of rows affected is equal to pipe symbol rows. I'll just save my program. I'll run my program. Mails, right? So how many mails do I have? Let's see. They're telling me I've got how many mails? 1, 2, 3. But look here. Actually, you have only 2 mails with mark. But you, in fact, have 3 mails. 1 mail you do not have mark, but actually there are 3 rows which are affected. Has it a mark or has it no mark is not an issue. You do have 3 mails. You do have 3 rows which are affected with this particular query. This particular query, it got affected by 3 rows, and it was your problem. You didn't have a mark over here. But 3 rows are affected. So the question was student details. I'll have to update age, right? So I write set age equal to age plus 2. For whom? For Rahul, where S underscore name is equal to Rahul, R in small, simply because I entered R in small. Okay, so I've updated that. You can have all this, let it remain, no issues. Okay, so I'll just run my program. I'll save it into a new name, file, save as, update demo, update, insert. We are even planning to insert into a table, right? Dot PLSQL, all files, save, update underscore insert. I'll take the path from here. I'll go back. Update underscore insert dot PLSQL. Okay, let's see what happens. Set server output. I didn't do that. Set server output on. Okay, I'll run my code once again. Number of rows affected is equal to 1. Why? Because there's only one Rahul. There is only one Rahul. So number of rows affected is equal to 1. Let me see how my entry is. Select star from STU details. Okay, look here. Earlier, Rahul was 22 years old. One time I run my query, I get it plus 2, which means Rahul, by the time now he is 24. Okay, even though I didn't see an output over here, Rahul's age was increased by 2 mark. Now, I did it once again. I run it once again. Rahul, again, he got his age plus 2. So now Rahul is 26. So the first part of my question is done. I updated Rahul's age by 2. Okay? So we'll have the insert query. Insert into class values. Okay, you have to insert into the class values. What are you planning to insert? You are planning to insert Rahul's age and Rahul's CID. Rahul's age, and Rahul's CID, which means you have to get Rahul's age. This 26 you have to get, and this 55 you have to get. So earlier we saw how to insert age and CID. Very simple. For that, we'll have these. We'll have a few variables. Let's say A for age and CID C. Okay. So what is A? A is STU underscore details, the table name dot age, whatever is the type, percentage type. Okay. I even have CID. What is that? I'll just copy paste. Student details, CID. So I've got both those variables. Okay. Now, what do I have to insert over here? I have to insert actually this A and C. But as you all know, you need to get the values of A and C. So we'll be using the select query. Select age, comma, CID from STU underscore details, where F name is equal to Rahul. You're taking Rahul's age and Rahul's CID. And where are you storing it into? You are storing it into A, comma C. A, comma C. And so into the class value, what are you inserting? A, comma C. We did this last time. We did this last day, last class. That was where Denia asked a doubt. Ma'am, how do you get to know that A is age? A is age. C is CID. So all what I've done is, I've done declarations. Okay, I updated Rahul's age. This is actually not needed. You can avoid this if not wanted. Okay, you got whose age? Rahul's age and CID, and you are inserting it into a class. I'll just save my program. I'll run it over here. Okay, I'm having a small error. Let's find it out. Okay, when I deleted stuff, I did not delete off this endif. Looks better now. Let's save it. I'll run my program again. They're telling it is successfully completed. Let's see. Two things should have happened over here. Rahul's age should have been updated, and even things should have gone into another table. Select star from student details. Yeah. Rahul was earlier just 26 years old. Now he's jumped from 26 to 28. So that part, the first part is done. Let's see the second part. Which table? We are putting it into a class table. Select star from class. Okay, yeah. 28 and 55, it went into the table. Now look here. If I run this again, let's see what happens. If I run this again, Rahul, that guy, he grows 30 years old, and the next entry, this entry will not get updated. 3055 goes in as the next entry to the table.